One guy, it looks like Biden won't have to worry about much next year. It's Florida governor and broken robot in the hall of never going to be presidents. Ron DeSantis.
The NRA donated to me. I don't think the NRA is quite the boogeyman the Democrats think it is. Do we hit them on guns, or just everyone who cares about guns is going to vote for me?
Is there any issue upon which you disagree with President Trump?
Obviously there is, because I voted contrary to him in the Congress.
I want to talk about DeSantis' debate prep. It seems that he has some enemies on the inside.
I have to frame it in a way that's not going to piss off all his voters. So what I do is I do what I think is right. I support his agenda in terms of what he's been able to do. If I have a disagreement, I talk to him in private.
Now, of course, this is coming upon disaster after disaster. I mean, talk about a man who missed the moment. Had a chance to be the nominee. Well, I never thought he had a chance. But he would have at least shown a running. My God, he might have even lit the board. What are the odds? But it's over now.
Ron DeSantis was supposed to help the GOP move past the former president, but he has one big political liability. He's Ron DeSantis.
DeSantis has his dirty fingers all over senior entitlements, like cutting Medicare, slashing Social Security, even raising our retirement age. Tell Ron DeSantis to keep his pudding fingers off our money. Oh, and somebody get this man a spoon.
I mean, some of this shit's just ridiculous.
When you walk up there, if you have a pad, you have to write in all caps at the top of the pad, likable. And then look, I do the same thing because I have the same personality. We're both aggressive.
It's hit after hit, disaster after disaster. It's not that his campaign never got started. It's that he never finished the last one.
Ron DeSantis was struggling big time in his primary race for governor of Florida. Polls revealed DeSantis was failing so bad, he was losing by a staggering 17 points. Then DeSantis was saved by the endorsement of President Trump. Trump's support was so powerful, just 2 days after the endorsement, DeSantis took a commanding lead, and it propelled him to being elected governor.
I'd like to thank our president for standing by me when it wasn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
You're welcome. Unfortunately, instead of being grateful, DeSantis is now attacking the very man who saved his career. Isn't it time DeSantis remembers how he got to where he is?
Make America great again. Big league. So good. Build the wall. Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
Truth is, there's only one person who can make America great again.
He's got a real problem. And that is that he's Trump's bitch. And there's no way to wash off that taint.
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
And he's tanking in the polls, and not just here, everywhere he goes on the planet.
I'm sorry, but if you're writing likable on top of your debate sheet, you've already lost the debate. Nobody likes this guy. And he's even been told that. He can't seem to help it. He's a dork. He's weird. He acts bizarre. And what do you mean to say?
He just returned from a foreign trip, officially billed as an attempt to build Florida's economic relationships with the UK, Israel, South Korea, and Japan. Yes, he was trying to boost sales of Florida's top exports, meth.
Governor, polls show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when the world lost its mind, when common sense suddenly became an uncommon virtue. Florida was a citadel of freedom for our fellow Americans. Our rights are not granted by the courtesy of the state, but are endowed by the hand of the Almighty. We will never surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die. We insist on the restoration of time-tested constitutional principles so that government of, by, and for the people shall not perish from this earth. We, the people, are not destined for fate. I don't care what Hollywood says. I don't care what big corporations say. Decline is a choice, and freedom is worth fighting for. We will stand firm in the faith. We will be courageous. Here I stand. I'm not backing down.
It's on the razor's edge anyway, right? Like, just even with everything happened last time, it only takes 20,000 votes in this state, 20,000 votes in that state, and you have a different result.
And I hate that.
He's got no shot.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your governor speaking. Today's training evolution, dogfighting, taking on the corporate media. The rules of engagement are as follows. Number 1, don't fire to tell me what's in the bill. Number 2, never ever fight. Number 3, don't accept their narrative. It's wrong. It's a fake narrative.
What's Jonathan?
False narrative. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course, he's the bitch of the NRA. You know, we have to go after Disney. By golly, let's get Mickey Mouse. Want to stop those groomers?
Massive business development project that would redefine the retail experience in the region. And in the middle of all those shops and those galleries and gardens, in the middle of all of it, the plan was to erect a 1.8 million square foot corporate campus for Florida's biggest taxpayer, Disney. Not anymore. Today, Disney announced that due to changing business conditions in Florida, the company will not move forward with the construction of its Lake Nona campus. This is a huge hit to Florida's economy. The project was valued at nearly $1 billion and was expected to bring more than 2,000 new jobs to the state of Florida. White-collar jobs, many of them relocated from California. California, with its average yearly salaries of $120,000. Now, while Disney didn't name Governor Ron DeSantis as the reason it decided to pull the plug, the announcement does come amid an escalating feud between the Florida governor and Disney over the company's opposition to the state's education law known as Don't Say Gay.
Oh, kids are getting killed in Florida schools? That's fine. Hell, we need more guns.
Isn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
There is no place where these two guys differ. They are exactly the same charlatans, only this guy has no charisma.
Right? And right now, DeSantis, his problem is he doesn't look like a winner because he keeps losing to the guy he says can't win.
Say what you want about Donald Trump, but the motherfucker has charisma.
And, you know, that's why in 2016, like, basically everyone's speech before their concession speech was the Donald Trump's going to ruin America speech. You know, Bobby Schindel did it, Perry did it, Cruz did it, Marco Rubio said he had a small dick. You know, we're doing the sticker thing. You know, it comes off as very politician-y. DeSantis really, I think, kind of needed to make that argument from an area of strength, but he had convinced himself that it was best to kind of hide in the bushes for 6 months. Well, now he's been hiding in the bushes for 6 months.
So you're in a situation where you can't piss off the Trump voters. I feel you, dude. Running against Trump will piss off the Trump voters. And I think that's what all of these DeSantis is our golden boy people have come to realize. They are fucked.
Just in, we can now call the 2024 presidential race for Joe Biden.
My fellow Americans.
This morning, an emboldened China invades Taiwan. Financial markets are in free fall as 500 regional banks have shuttered their doors.
Border agents were overrun by a surge of 80,000 illegals yesterday evening.
Officials closed the city of San Francisco this morning, citing the escalating crime and fentanyl crisis.
I mean, let's be realistic. If this is the great white hope, Republicans are done. Because Donald Trump's got the nomination. And Joe Biden's gonna beat the pants off Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck what the polls say.
People who are making the ads have consumed too much MAGA media. It's like they don't understand how most voters, the ones they need, see the world. People are concerned about the border. They don't think the border is gone, right? They're concerned about crime. They don't think San Francisco has been closed like some sort of Escape from New York spinoff. Like that's not a relatable argument to people.
They're are always going to be 35 or 40% that'll vote for Trump to the day they die. Because they're in the cult. But that's it.
He's a loser, can't beat sleepy Joe Biden, cost the Republicans the Senate in 2022, and will cost them everything in 2024.
I believe Trump lost at least 10%. And I'll bet you he lost about 20. Joe Biden did not lose any votes. So, we'll see how it goes.
Here he is responding to a question about a former Gitmo detainee who claims DeSantis was present while he was being tortured.
How would they know me? Okay, think about that. Do you honestly believe that's credible? So this is 2006. I'm a junior officer. Do you honestly think that they would have remembered me from Adam? Of course not.
Do you really think a guy would remember me? No one remembers me. I don't remember me.
Joe Biden is the president now, and to me, it was a signal of weakness of the arguments they feel like they have against Joe Biden, that they have to create this hypothetical dystopian future using robots, rather than having their first ad against his re-election campaign be a strong argument against what is actually happening in Joe Biden's America.
DeSantis also traveled to the United Kingdom, where he met with British business leaders who later described him as horrendous and low wattage.
On the other hand, maybe DeSantis will rise up. It'll be amazing. Suddenly, like a phoenix from the ashes coming to save Maga. Ron DeSantis.
Bored and stared at his feet at an event co-hosted by Lloyd's of London, the world's largest insurance marketplace. He bored British insurance agents. I say. My goodness. I say, he's frightfully dull. Let's go back to discussing deductibles for chimney lung.
I wouldn't hold my breath. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.
I just thought you should know.
Ron DeSantis.
Who's in charge here? It feels like the train is coming off the tracks.
Wasn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
It felt really a bit like we were watching a state-level politician. There wasn't any stardust. No stardust, or as it's known in Florida, meth.